What's up, everybody? I'm Dear Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back and we're checking out a new Dogma 2 video. This is coming from IGN. They got a chance to do a 10-hour gameplay session of the game, so we're gonna see what the impressions were. As we're excited for the game, we're playing it on the channel, so make sure you subscribe if you're new. But we're gonna dive straight into this. My family, without further ado, let's dive in. All right, what could we expect this time? We did one of these like about a week ago. Oh yeah, we saw him going ham.
I thought it would be a simple side quest. The owner of an apothecary enlisted my help to find his lost grandson who had been taken by wolves.
Okay.
As I followed the trail, I heard a screeching noise from up above.
Who was it? Ooh, a griffin.
All of a sudden, I'm in a battle for my life against a griffin. It's a monster that's far too strong for my party to handle, but we fight and claw and hold our ground until finally we get it to retreat. I breathe a sigh of relief, then set up at the nearby camp and sleep till nightfall.
It has a lot of health.
That sleep is then interrupted by the same griffin back for revenge.
Of course. Oh, the same health too. That's interesting.
That fight somehow boils over into another battle with a white, who proceeds to beat me within an inch of my life before I finally take him out, just as the sun rises after an epic 20-minute battle.
Lovely. I love it. I love them 20-minute battles. A lot of depth in them. Okay. Level up, level 12. It's cool that Griffin came back with the same level of health.
None of this was part of the actual quest involving saving the boy. It was just a series of events that cascaded into one of the most unforgettable encounters I've ever had in an open world action RPG.
Oh,
and
unforgettable.
It was just one of the incredible encounters I experienced during the 10 hours I spent adventuring through Dogma 2's fantastic open world.
Bro, I can't wait. Keywords, fantastic open world. Here we go, let's dive in.
I didn't get to start from the very beginning. I did get to begin with the creation of my own pawn. Pawns, for those unfamiliar with the first Dragon's Dogma, are AI-controlled companions that gain gear, skills, and experience from your game, and then take all of that with them online where they can be hired by other players to be companions in their own games.
That's cool.
I'm not going to spend too much time on either pawns or character creation, especially because we've already made those videos. But what I will say is that pawns are integral to one of my big takeaways, which is that exploration and discovery in Dragon's Dogma 2 feels much more natural than ever before.
Good.
First and foremost, there are no more quest boards. There are no markers that appear above people's heads letting you know who's got a quest, and any sort of symbols placed on your map to let you know of points of interest are kept to a minimum.
Bruh.
As such, you'll really rely on your pawns and NPCs to guide you through Dragon's Dogma 2's world.
Oh my god, that means it's gonna be super immersive and we're gonna get lost a lot. That's cool. No meter above your head tell you where you're going. It seems like limited information on the map. I saw a message on Twitter where they said that fast travel in open world games mean the game is boring. And I'm like, okay, that's a good take. That means the open world is fun, alive, inviting. But we'll see how. I mean, this guy already said it's amazing, so we'll kind of see when the game comes out.
NPCs will, more often than not, be the ones to approach you with opportunities for side quests, as opposed to it being the other way around.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
You wouldn't happen to have seen a pretty stone.
You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap?
Pawns
I did
will
not.
also point out objects of interest.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Oh,
Boulders
just
that can be
yonder.
destroyed to find a path that leads to treasure.
If you need that destroyed, I'm your pawn. Shall I
Oh.
assist?
They're useful
Or
then.
if they already have knowledge of a quest from their owner's game, they will straight up lead you to those quests if you give them the go-ahead.
That's
All of
crazy.
This leads to a style of exploration
That's
and
dope.
adventuring that feels very organic and appropriately rewarding, very much in the same way that
Wait. You said that if my pawn goes into your world and helps you with your quest, comes back to my world, he'll lead me to the same goods. So it's in your best interest to hire pawns.
Elden Ring and the two most recent Zelda games do. As alluded to in the intro to this preview, you also never really know what to expect once you set out to pursue a quest lead. The very act of exploring beyond the safety of the city's walls is unpredictable, dangerous, and enticing, which is why it's so exciting.
Nice. Nice. Okay, how strong are
Over the
we?
course of my 10 hours, I got to play with a total of 5 vocations: Fighter, Mage, Warrior, Sorcerer, and Trickster. which you can watch a whole other video all about. Unlike the
Tricks are
first game,
interesting.
which had you unlocking advanced vocations simply by leveling up the base ones, the 2 advanced vocations were actually unlocked via a quest.
Oh,
After
perfect.
visiting the Vocation Guild, I was given a quest to retrieve a greatsword and an archstaff, and after doing so, I unlocked both the warrior and sorcerer vocations. I don't know if all of them will be unlocked this way, and I didn't get a chance to unlock any of the hybrid ones, like Mystic Spearhand or Magic Archer, but I definitely like the idea of not having to grind vocations in order to unlock others.
Yeah, that
My
way it's
personal
more
favorite
accessible.
Of the vocations I got to try was by far the warrior, who maintains the fantasy of being the great sword-wielding badass that brings giant beasts to their knees with just one charged strike, but also adds a few more tricks to their repertoire.
Nice.
Director Hideaki Itsuno heard feedback that the warrior didn't feel like a super viable vocation in the first game, and thus worked hard to give them some new elements to bring out their strengths.
Good, good.
For starters, we've jacked up the warrior's offense and destructive power.
Good.
To the point where it's unfair. In exchange, its abilities take a little longer to execute. This makes the vocation somewhat difficult to use, but that's where the tackle comes into play. If you're attacked,
Can you tackle?
can use the tackle to cause an enemy to be stunned
Oh, you
instead of
can.
being stunned yourself, making it easier to get into the vocation.
Oh.
The tackle he's referring to is a new ability called Barge that allows the
Yo.
warrior to execute a quick shoulder bend.
That's straight
even while
from
they're trying to
Greatsword and
attack
Monster
to
Hunter.
interrupt and potentially stun any enemy that's trying to
I
stop
love
their
it.
attack. The vocation, after all, is built around being able to charge up massively powerful
You can
attacks
tackle.
that deal humongous damage. So this small change goes a long way in making it a little easier to get those big shots off. My
I love
favorite
it.
new addition for the warrior, though, is a passive skill that allows you to swing regular attacks much more quickly if you're able to precisely time your next button press with when the
Ooh.
attack actually lands. This gives a nice
Ooh.
rhythm to the warrior's combat
Yo.
and allows a skilled player to compensate for the typical weakness of having
Yo.
a very slow attack while
Hold on. I'm too excited, bro. If you hit the button right as it strikes and you get a timing right, you do even more damage. I love when games do stuff like that. Oh my! I mean, I was gonna be a Dex character, but look, Greatsword is calling my name, and they got the tackle too. Woo.
still
fired
making
up.
those very slow and powerful attacks still feel like they have their own place in the warrior's skill set. Also, if you're like me and enjoy the feeling of leaping off cliffs and slamming your weapon down on a monster's head, this is the vocation for you.
Oh. Okay,
I
look.
unfortunately didn't get deep enough into the Sorcerer vocation
Look.
to see any of the really big, crazy spells that they're so beloved for, but
We're
what I
not gonna
really
play.
enjoyed about the Sorcerer was the addition of a unique skill called Galvanize. This
What?
allows you to go into a stance that recovers your stamina extremely quickly, which is especially useful
That's
for
cool.
the Sorcerer due to the fact that their spells take so long to cast. To shorten those spells, you need to use a skill called Quick Spell, which allows you to spend stamina to reduce a spell's cast time. All of this leads to a careful balance of preparing to cast a powerful spell, using Quick Spell to shorten its cast time, and then making note of whether you have enough stamina to cast another spell, or whether you have to break away and use Galvanize to get your stamina back up. It's a fun dance that made Sorcerer feel a lot more active than in the past.
Yeah. You gotta be on your toes.
Dragon's Dogma 2's open world is enormous, reported to be roughly 4 times the size of the already huge map in the first
Damn.
game. And I don't doubt that claim in my experience of checking out the map and
Ooh.
wandering through just a small portion of it. It's
Stop it.
big, but it's also dense.
Stop
with
it.
exciting
I
encounters
got-
both on and
I love the
off beaten
speed.
path that were paced nicely, so I wasn't constantly slowed down by back-to-back battles, but I also never went too long without having something to engage
Ooh.
with. One thing that was important to Itsuno and the team at Capcom was making sure that the players really felt the distance that they were traveling as they explored.
No
To that
need.
end, fast travel is very limited, like in the first game. You can
No.
only travel between discovered port crystals, and every time you do, you must expend a fairy stone, which are highly valuable items that don't come cheap and aren't easily found.
Shall we make use of it?
So we can't travel. Bro, we're gonna be traveling forever then.
Another option you have for getting around is using an ox cart, which is relatively cheap, but they are limited in the fact that you can't choose where you travel. The main one that I found only went from the capital city of Vernworth to the checkpoint town, which was far to the west.
Bruh.
You also have to consider that ox carts are not a completely safe way to travel, as they often will be ambushed by all manners of beasts.
Bruh.
Of course, you can just hoof it on foot, which is where you'll truly feel the weight of that distance, especially due to the new health restoration mechanic known as the loss gauge. In
What's
the
that?
first game, you'd be able to heal your entire life bar by using health restorative items, and recoverable gray health with spells. In Dragon's Dogma 2, however, Every hit diminishes a portion of your max health, and the only ways to restore it are either by finding a campfire to rest at, or returning to an inn and resting for the night.
Bro.
Fortunately, if you rest at a campfire, you can also cook some meat and get some
that meat looks
much-needed
delicious.
buffs, in addition to restoring all of your life.
What the hell?
But there's a risk involved with resting at a campfire as well. The flames may attract monsters to your campsite, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this preview...
Can they chill? Goddamn. You can't fast travel. You gotta use a cart. If you go on the cart, you can get attacked. If you get hit in battle, you lose max health. Then you have to restore it in the camp. And if you're chilling in the camp with a fire, you're gonna attract beasts. Bro.
You could actually wake up to an angry griffin coming back to finish what it started. What it all comes down to is this. Virtually every action in Dragon's Dogma 2 has some combination of a cost and a risk tied to it. Fairy stones are risk-free travel, but they come at a very steep price. Ox carts are a low-cost but moderately risky method of travel, and traveling on foot is free, but extremely risky. Then you must also consider whether it's worth it to press on in a questline with low max health, or backtrack to a town to resupply, whether you should avoid fighting the giant tanky ogre, or risk it all on trying to bring it down for both the experience and rare material reward, whether you should keep on the less dangerous beaten path, or take a detour into the unknown. In the 10 hours that I played, these were very compelling decisions to have to make. But the real test will be whether those decisions remain compelling or turn exhausting in hour 20 or 30 when the map has expanded dramatically and you still have quests remaining to complete in a town that you're super far away from. Hypotheticals aside though, I love just about every moment that I spent playing Dragon's Dogma 2 during this preview window. It doubles down on everything that I loved from the first game, makes some smart improvements to the way quests are handled and how you explore its giant world, and the little taste that I got of the vocations is a tantalizing reminder of why Dragon's Dogma is one of the best in the genre when it comes to delivering on the various power fantasies tied to the classic RPG archetypes. Even after all I played, I still feel like I just scratched the surface on what Capcom has in store for players when Dragon's Dogma 2 releases on March 22nd.
Damn. Look, a lot of thoughts. One, Great Sword is amazing. Tackle's dope. I love that. You can definitely tell they want you to be truly 100% immersed in the game. And by doing that, they got rid of the fast travels. They made walking dangerous. They make sleeping dangerous. They make fast travel expensive. And they really made the world looks like comes to life. So Capcom has created a game that they want you to play and focus and play only, because you need to be immersed to like keep track of all the things that you have to get done in the game. So in the first thought, you're like, oh man, fast travel, that sucks. But looking at people that play the game, they say it's great. So we'll see how it is when we come out. We're definitely playing on the channel. I'm excited for that. It looks great. I love open worlds. I love exploration. I'm really excited about the fact where I could rent my pawn and they come back with information to help me in my game. That's dope. So look forward to renting my pawns 24/7. But so far I'm excited. I'm impressed. This is we're gonna continue to follow the game as it gets closer to release, and we're gonna do a full playthrough on the channel. So make sure you come through for the guides, the builds, all the things, the secrets. But comment below, what were your thoughts after watching this? Definitely impressed. But I'm definitely like, okay, this is gonna be a feat diving into it. But stay smooth. Thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you're new. Subscribe if you're new as well. Join us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all the things. Just search Dear Gamer. I'm family. Till next time, Dear Gamer, signing out.